Should you get a phone answering service for your business? How do you know it's the right time to get a phone answering service for your business? In this video, we're going to answer those questions. We're going to go over some cost benefit examples from some different industries and then discuss AI solutions versus human solutions, which I think you'll find to be pretty interesting and a little surprising. You're watching this video right now, though, because you're aware that you're missing out on some opportunities. You or your staff are likely busy wearing a couple different hats, and you can't always get to the phone right away. We got to start with the facts, right? People today are impatient, and if you don't answer the phone, they might not wait for you to call them back. They might move down to the next business that they found on Google or a second recommendation that they had from another friend. Every time you miss a call, your actual cost per lead goes up, because how you spend your money on advertising gets diluted across all the opportunities that you bring in. So you're literally burning up money. In a lot of industries, if you pick up the phone and then you book somebody for an estimate, they're not going to continue shopping around, right? They're happy that somebody's going to come out and take a look at it, or that they've got an appointment, they can come in. They're not going to continue looking, and you've got the gig, you've got the job, you've got the new patient, the new client. So if you think it's okay to just call your customers back, you're wrong. Just going to say it. You're wrong. You are hemorrhaging money and you don't even know it. And the reason you don't know it is because you're not getting those opportunities. You are missing them. So it feels like it's not a big deal, but it really is. Let's talk about the money metrics. And I got a good example for you here about a business that we worked with a while back that went out of business because they weren't answering the phone. It's an extreme example, but I think it'll help paint the picture for you because I've got some others as well. When you have a business, right, that in this case was a dog training business, their average customer spent at least $850 on their programs. Now, when we were working with them, we track all the phone calls and we noticed that they were missing 90% of the calls. When they asked the person that was in charge of answering the phones, hey, why aren't these getting picked up like our marketing company said that they're not getting picked up? She said, oh, I'm calling them back the same day. Oh my God. They're gone. They already left. The opportunity is gone. They went with somebody else. When we look at just for them, 30 leads a month, 27 of them are going unanswered. So those 27 missed opportunities meant that they weren't able to book the 13 to 20 consultations that they normally book out of those 27. They weren't able to close of those 13 booked appointments, even a third of them. That's being conservative. They booked a lot more than that. That meant that there were 4 clients not closed every single month by these missed opportunities. So 4 times 850, that's $3,400 a month in missed revenue opportunities. So this is on a small scale with a business like dog training. Can you imagine what it's like in industry like HVAC or roofing or dentistry? We're talking about thousands of dollars in missed opportunity by missing one phone call. All right. So when we start talking about the money metrics, if you hire a human-based call answering service, it'll go for anywhere from $800 to $400 a month. There's like all these different options and tiers. I'll probably talk about it in another video. You can check the description below here and get a link to it. There's a lot of options for call answering services, but on the low side, you've simply got somebody who will pick up the phone when you can't and take a message, right? So somebody that's calling in feels like, well, I was heard. Somebody is going to call me back, and they will probably wait for that call back. So this is a huge plus, even if you hire somebody on the low side. On the higher end, you could have somebody that you're training up to field questions that come in on the phones, to book actual appointments onto your calendar, to help them troubleshoot maybe small things that are acceptable to troubleshoot over the phone and get them booked for an estimate. All right. That's on the high side of things. Okay. $400, $500 a month to have somebody do that and answer the 50 calls, 60 calls you might have in a single month, whatever it is, right? Could be a lot more. All right. This is all just conservative estimates, the money stuff I shared with you here. But when you think about those dentists or those roofers that are missing opportunities $300 a month, $500 a month to get an extra $10,000 or $20,000 by missing a handful of opportunities is a really, really big deal. So when you're considering a call answering service, you have a couple options. The first option is you could hire somebody full-time in-house to do the answering and a million other things because they're probably not going to do this full-time for you. It's also probably why you're on this video right now. It's like you don't have the money right now to hire somebody full-time to do this. But how do you get the same result even if you can't fully hire somebody? Well, that's the second option. You could deploy an AI voice agent to answer the calls. Really cheap, oftentimes 50 to 100, 150 bucks a month to run that AI. You might have to do some setup or have somebody do some setup for you, so that could be a chunk up front, but it is nothing like having to pay an employee and benefits and all that stuff, right? It's, in my opinion, it's better than nothing, and it's efficient. Like, it'll work for you 24/7. You could even change your business hours so that it's answering the phone for you, even if you're not out in the field going and making calls. Here's the thing though, this day and age, as I'm recording this video in 2025, some people get pretty upset when they find out that they're talking to an AI. And it's pretty easy to tell in a lot of cases that you are. So the technology is going to get better. But even when it does get better and somebody realizes it, I think it's going to take a while for a good chunk of the population to become okay with AI. So while it is efficient and it's better than nothing, I think there is a risk in the current environment that could damage your brand more than help it in regards to, the possible upside for actually having the calls answered. There's some big pros and cons here. The third option, and my number one recommendation, at least for now, is to hire a local call answering service. So if you go on Google and you type in, call answering service near me, you'll probably find some different options from, maybe some co-working spaces that offer this, or it might simply be some kind of a concierge service in general, and they're just working remotely from your area. These are all good options because the people that are answering the phones, they know your area, right? So they can speak more confidently to the people that are calling in from your area. They're not just from some national branch. You can train them to represent you well. Again, they know the area. They're invested in local businesses and your success. They're more willing to put in the work to learn your business, to answer and represent you well. And they are going to be way cheaper than paying an employee with benefits, right? So you don't have to pay them as a full-time person. You're getting them for only the times that they're answering the phones. So they're going to answer the phones for other companies as well, but I've watched this and seen it in action. Their systems, every time the call comes in, it just pulls up in front of them. This is the client that they're answering for. Any documentation you provided for them, any scripts, all that comes up, and then they just answer on your behalf. So it's a real good win-win going with a local service versus one of the national ones. You're going to help keep people employed and pay them here in the community, but they're also going to represent you in a way that a national service never would. So I think if you're thinking about getting a call answering service, it's time. You need to do something about it for all the reasons that we chatted about here and just what is nagging in the back of your mind. You know it's time. So reach out to somebody local, get a couple different quotes, get a feel for what they're doing, maybe get some recommendations from them. Who's been using your service that loves it? Could I talk to them about it and find out what the hurdles were that they had to go through in order for it to be effective? That information could help you decide between this one or that one. I think my recommendation is going to change as time goes on and AI gets better because it's going to be incredibly efficient. It's going to know exactly how to answer all of the questions. It'll be easier to train and be congruent with what you want it to be done. But right now it's just not there. And I think that the risk for your brand reputation when somebody gets pissed off about it is just not worth it. Even though it's better than nothing, this is just my personal take. And I think it'll change when the technology gets better. So here's the deal. If you're curious about call answering, other ways to grow your business, how to find more leverage, make sure you check the description below this video for some of the other videos, content, and freebies that we give away here to help you grow your business. And if you're looking to take it to the next level, you're in those home service industries in particular, reach out to us here at Digital Harvest and book a time with one of our strategists. There's many different ways for us to help you get more visibility, get more leads flowing to your business. And it's just an important thing to keep your eye on the ball, move the things forward, and take care of this call answering, right? You take care of this, then you can hire a marketing agency to help you take your business to the moon. So with that, I appreciate you watching my video. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you like this video, you'll probably like the rest of them on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and check them out, subscribe for more, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye for now.